Hey guys, Chopu from GoVaporize.com, and I guess everybody that's paying any attention to the news at all has noticed that marijuana has become a mainstream conversation. I know that on Twitter I've seen a probably 10 times increase in the chatter of people talking about the subject and the issue, and even people that weren't predisposed to talking about it, or people that weren't even interested in the issue, are now becoming involved because it's becoming so popular. Um, the one thing I want to point out here is that in 2005, federal authorities ruled that they could actually prosecute medical marijuana patients because state laws didn't protect users from the federal ban on the drug. But a decision that was made in 2007 actually overturned that, and now the Obama administration and Attorney General Holder are actually upholding that, and they're saying that they're not going to have the DEA interfere with states that have medicinal marijuana clinics and the medicinal marijuana laws to protect them, as long as they're abiding by state and federal law. The only problem with that is it's all subject to their interpretation of whether or not it's violating federal law, so we'll have to see how that goes, but it seems like it's helped a little bit anyway. um, Support for legalization is at an all-time high, and it's continuing to grow, and a recent Gallup poll showed 44% of Americans supported legalization, and a recent study that we saw, a poll that we saw on CNN last week, showed as high as 95%. It just depends on the people that you poll, I guess. I think the main reason for the numbers not still being over 50% is because of baby boomers. Because if you look at ages under 55, there's around half of the people that say that they've smoked marijuana, whereas you get up over 65 and it's like 20%. So I think that the generation gap has a lot to do with it. And I'm not saying that you have to smoke marijuana to want marijuana legalization, because I don't believe that's the case. I mean, I could care less. I'm not somebody that's a daily user. I'm not somebody that has to have it. And, yes, it does help my business, but if I never smoked it again, it wouldn't matter to me. There are a lot bigger issues. There's issues for medicinal purposes. There's issues for people to be able to grow hemp. There's over 50,000 things that can be made from hemp. So there are a lot bigger issues than just smoking. And it seems like every time I do these videos or these articles, a lot of people want to jump on that bandwagon that it's just people that want to get high, and it's just about getting high, and that's the farthest from the truth. The fact of the matter is that the prohibition of marijuana and hemp has destroyed this planet. This is a planetary concern. It's not just a matter of somebody wanting to get stoned. And some of the people that watch my videos and read my articles, if you can actually honestly think that all I do is sit around and get high all day, then you're out of your mind. Is all I do all day long is write and work on these videos and things like that, and that's the farthest thing from my mind. What I'm after is a much bigger picture, and some people can see the forest for the trees and some can't. And what I'm trying to do is just give out information so people can actually start to educate themselves. And I'm not even asking you to take my word for any of this. Look at the references I provide, and then go on the internet and find your own. It's very simple. You go to Google, you type in marijuana, cannabis, marijuana prohibition, type in some of the names I give you, whatever. But don't sit back and just buy what you hear on TV and the radio and the newspapers, because like it or not, they're owned by the very corporations that put this crap into place to begin with. And if you really honestly think that you're getting an unbiased, unslanted view of the news from corporate newspapers and corporate media, you're wrong. Just flat out wrong. You have to do your own research. So anyway, getting back to this article, they're talking about how the drug cartels have spilled over into American cities, and there's a link here that shows about that. They've infiltrated at least 230 American cities. There have already been documented cases of kidnappings and murders in Phoenix and Tucson. There's a huge Mexican drug cartel ring in Atlanta that's operating and making millions and millions of dollars, and there's increased crime and murder there as well from this. Hillary Clinton recently visited the Latin American countries and made statements that, you know, America's insatiable appetite for drugs was helping to fuel the cartel-related violence. But the fact of the matter is, as I've said all along, you know, this is something that's a failed policy, and anyone who has a mind and who can rationally think about it knows that it's not going to work. You know, it never has and it never will. You know, one of the biggest things is learning from your past mistakes. And, you know, an old saying says that if we cannot learn from history, we're doomed to repeat it. And that's exactly what we've done. You know, at least FDR was smart enough to see after 15 years of alcohol prohibition that all it did was cause crime and increase violence, and that it served no purpose whatsoever. You know, we've carried on this marijuana thing for 70 years, and it's even worse. You know, there's more violence, there's more death, and the fact of the matter is that alcohol is far dangerous. It's far more dangerous and far more addictive, yet there's no problem with it being legal. Anyway, guys, this is a really good article. It talks about a lot of different subjects. It's got some great links to some reports, like from economist Jeffrey Myron, and also from the Latin American Commission on Drugs and Democracy. They got their report in there condemning drug prohibition and calling for the legalization of cannabis. And I hope you guys find this information helpful. And as I said, I just want to use it to help you get started and do your own research and form your own opinion, and don't believe everything you hear on Fox News. See you guys on the next video.